Stephen has been murdered. And on that very same day, persecution breaks out right across Jerusalem. Saul goes in hot pursuit of these Jesus followers, finding where they live. The 3 years of tension that has been building erupts into persecution. This is the moment when things change in the story of Acts. Suddenly, this movement that was called to go to the ends of the earth but had failed to do so is pushed out of Jerusalem into the surrounding area, into the surrounding nations. In a theatre like this, there are many different seats. Each seat has a different perspective, a different viewpoint. This persecution in Jerusalem must have been tough. It must have been intense. But from our perspective, we can see how this persecution actually fanned the Jesus movement. It took the gospel into other parts of the world, into people who had previously not heard about the message of Jesus. This was good news for you and for me. It was time to find out whether this message of Jesus that had caused both rioting and revival in Jerusalem would have a similar impact in other areas. In Judea, the countryside around Jerusalem, and in Samaria, the place known for being a kind of half-breed of Jewish and other people. Would the gospel message work here as well? It's at this point we meet another one of these deacons, a man named Philip. He leaves Jerusalem, but he doesn't stop preaching. He does the miraculous, he heals people and he preaches about Jesus and people come to faith and there is joy. Peter and John come down to meet the people he's been gathering with. They pray for them and they receive the Holy Spirit. Then God gives a very strange command to Philip. He tells him to go to the dusty desert road. You might think, why? Why in the midst of revival, in the midst of all these exciting things taking place, in the buzz of all that God was doing, why was Philip told to go and wait on a dusty desert road? But it's on this road that Philip meets an Ethiopian eunuch, travelling along in his chariot. The eunuch is reading Isaiah, not fully understanding what these words mean, and Philip climbs aboard. Philip explains that it was Jesus who ultimately fulfilled all of the prophecy. The eunuch believes. And in that moment, he says, why don't I get baptized right now? He joins the movement. And so, the good news of Jesus spreads. It spreads to the despised people of Samaria. And it spreads to the outcasts like the eunuch from Ethiopia. Do we sometimes limit the potential of the gospel message? Do we sometimes fail to see really what God can do, who God can reach? Do we fail to see who can be welcomed into this new community, this new Jesus movement? Let's never limit where this gospel message can take us and what this gospel message